Many are calling it a miracle. An 18-month-old baby girl survived 14 hours suspended upside down in her car seat.
In this age where seeing is believing, some moments are so extraordinary that they defy all logic.
The photos are exactly how they were taken.
I was like, wow. I mean, that is an angel.
These miracles are so unbelievable that if they weren't caught on camera, no one would believe they actually happened. From unexplainable recovery from deadly diseases to impossible feats that challenge the laws of science, these mind-blowing occurrences leave even the most skeptical viewers questioning reality. Join us as we explore the most awe-inspiring and miraculous moments ever captured on film. Number 20. The Eucharist Miracle. On August 18, 1996, Father Alejandro Pezet was celebrating Holy Mass at a Catholic church in Buenos Aires, Argentina, when a parishioner informed him that a consecrated host had been discarded at the back of the church. Following the standard procedure, Father Alejandro placed the host in a container of water and stored it in the tabernacle. However, what happened next was nothing short of miraculous. By August 26th, the host had transformed into a reddish, bloody substance. Recognizing the potential significance, the parish informed Cardinal Jorge Bergoglio, who would later become Pope Francis. He ordered the host to be examined by experts. Dr. Ricardo Castañón Gómez, a scientist and former atheist, led the investigation and sent the sample to Dr. Frederick Zugibe, a prominent forensic pathologist in the United States. Without revealing the origin, Dr. Zugibe concluded that the substance was human flesh and blood, specifically from the myocardium, the heart muscle. Even more astonishing, the blood was identified as type AB, the same rare blood type found on the Shroud of Turin. This Eucharistic miracle, caught on camera, continues to mystify both the faithful and the scientific community. Miracles don't just happen in churches, they can happen anywhere, even on a road. Let's dive into the incredible story of a mysterious man who saved someone from the brink of death after a terrible accident. Number 19. Katie Lentz. In 2013, a terrifying collision occurred on a rural highway, leaving 19-year-old Katie Lentz trapped in a mangled car, critically injured and rapidly losing hope. Emergency responders worked tirelessly to free her, but their efforts seemed futile. Then, out of nowhere, a priest appeared at the scene, dressed in clerical robes. He approached Katie's wrecked vehicle and prayed over her as rescuers stood by. The moment was caught on camera, and soon after his prayer, the responders were finally able to free her. But what stunned everyone was that the priest mysteriously vanished without a trace. No one saw where he went, and despite the many witnesses, he was never identified. Katie, who had been on the verge of death, began to recover, leading many to believe that the vanishing priest was more than just a man, perhaps a guardian angel. Speaking of mysterious figures, let's turn to another miraculous event where a child who doctors had given up on was saved from the cold grip of death at the very last moment. Number 18. Chelsea Banton Guardian Angel. In 2008, 14-year-old Chelsea Barton from Texas had endured a lifetime of severe health challenges, including a chronic illness that left her frequently hospitalized. By November of that year, Chelsea was battling a severe case of pneumonia, and despite weeks of medical intervention, her condition showed no signs of improvement. Her doctors prepared her family for the worst as she lay on life support. Chelsea's mother, Colin Barton, faced an unimaginable decision: removing her daughter from life support so she could pass away peacefully. But just before the family could proceed, something incredible happened. A security camera outside Chelsea's hospital room captured an inexplicable glowing figure in an angelic form. This image left everyone stunned, and soon after, Chelsea's condition dramatically improved. Her vital signs stabilized, and she made an unexpected recovery. Many believe it was a case of divine intervention, a miracle caught on camera that defied all medical explanations. But Chelsea's story is just one of many miraculous moments that defy belief. And if these miracles were not filmed, no one would believe it. Up next is the case of a police officer in Utah who heard a mysterious voice that led him to a submerged car and a shocking discovery inside. Number 17. The Loud Voice. In March 2016, a chilling event unfolded in Spanish Fork, Utah. Police officer Tyler Beddoes responded to a call about a vehicle that had veered off the road and plunged into the icy waters of the Spanish Fork River. As Officer Beddoes approached the partially submerged car, he heard a desperate voice calling for help and alerted his team. Urgently, they rushed to the scene, hoping to save lives. When they arrived, they discovered the lifeless bodies of a young couple who had tragically died upon impact. However, in the back seat, miraculously, was 18-month-old Lily Grossbeck, still alive after being trapped for 14 hours in freezing temperatures. Her survival was shocking enough, but what truly baffled Officer Beddoes was the voice they had all heard. With the car submerged for so long, it was impossible for the toddler to have been calling for help. Could it have been a guardian angel who led them to Lily in time? Well, moving on, let's discuss about a heart-wrenching yet miraculous moment where a grieving mother, after losing her son, found herself caught in an unexpected and emotional encounter that changed everything. Number 16. The Grieving Mother. In May 2016, a heart-wrenching scene unfolded in Alabama as Laura Trevino mourned the loss of her 3-year-old son, Tristan, who had passed away from a rare illness. The atmosphere at the funeral was heavy with sorrow as family and friends gathered to pay their respects. Amidst the grieving, something extraordinary happened. During the service, one of the white balloons used for decoration suddenly broke free and began to drift toward Laura, seemingly guided by an unseen force. As the balloon approached, it gently hovered around her, caressing her face in a tender gesture that felt almost intentional. Those in attendance watched in awe as many interpreted this moment as a divine sign, a message of love and comfort from Tristan, assuring his mother that he was at peace. The footage of this miraculous moment quickly went viral, resonating with viewers who found solace in the thought that Tristan's spirit was reaching out to his grieving mother. Miracles manifest in various forms, often when least expected. Moving on to the next video, another mother could have faced heartbreak if it weren't for a railway worker who saved her son from an oncoming train. Number 15. Young boy survives train collision. In a dramatic incident in India, a young boy's life was saved by the swift actions of a courageous railway worker. While walking with his mother on a train platform, the boy lost his balance and fell onto the railway tracks, putting him in imminent danger of an oncoming train. The situation left him exposed, and his vision blocked. As the train approached, panic erupted at the station. His mother, witnessing the horrifying scene from the platform, could only scream in despair. In that crucial moment, Meyer Schelke, a railway worker on duty, noticed the boy stranded on the tracks. Acting without hesitation, Schelke rushed down the platform, racing against time to save the child. In a tense scene captured on CCTV, he reached the boy just in time, lifting him off the tracks and pulling him back onto the platform mere seconds before the train sped past. Schelke's remarkable bravery drew widespread admiration online, with many praising him as a hero. His quick thinking saved the boy's life, and the incident was viewed as miraculous, illustrating how a single act of courage can prevent a potential tragedy. Continuing with stories of survival, let's focus on the miraculous story of the survivors of the Andes plane crash. Number 14. Survivors of the Andes plane crash. On October 13, 1972, a twin-engine aircraft carrying a Uruguayan rugby team tragically crashed in the Andes Mountains, giving rise to a remarkable survival story known as the Miracle of the Andes. The flight, which consisted of 45 passengers, experienced severe turbulence during its journey to Chile. Initially, the passengers reacted with excitement to the altitude drops, but that excitement quickly turned to panic when the plane encountered another air pocket, sending it careening toward the mountains. Among those on board were Nando Parrado and his friend Panchito Abal, who expressed concern moments before they both lost consciousness. When Parrado regained consciousness almost 48 hours later, he found himself in a frozen valley, with the tail of the plane detached and 11 passengers already dead. The 29 survivors were left in frigid conditions without any means of communication, and their hopes for rescue faded as days turned into weeks. After enduring 72 days of extreme hardship, only 16 of the original group emerged alive. If the stories of the Andes survivors do not seem miraculous to you, how about the survival of miners who were trapped for 69 days? Well, that's what we're about to show you in the next video. Number 13. The Miracle at the Mine Rescue. In 2010, the world was captivated by the story of 33 Chilean miners who were trapped underground for 69 days after a massive cave-in at the San Jose mine. Buried over 2,000 feet beneath the surface, their survival seemed impossible, and initial rescue attempts faced extreme challenges. As time passed, many feared that they would never be found alive. However, in what can only be described as miraculous, a drill eventually broke through to the miners, who had managed to survive in a small refuge area by rationing food and water. What made this event even more remarkable was that the entire rescue operation was documented live on camera, allowing millions around the world to witness the incredible moment the miners were pulled to safety one by one. The live footage captured the raw emotion, with tears of relief, joy, and disbelief as the miners, nicknamed Lost 33, were reunited with their families. If the entire operation hadn't been documented on camera, many would have found it difficult to believe such a miraculous survival story could be real. Now, let's move to another remarkable story, and this time, it's about a 3-year-old child. Number 12. Dog leads. Rescuers to lost child. In another remarkable survival story involving extreme conditions, 3-year-old Karina Chikatova went missing in the remote Shaksha Republic of Russia. The child wandered into the freezing Siberian wilderness, which was notorious for its wolf-infested forests. With dangerously low temperatures and a treacherous environment, her situation seemed hopeless. However, Karina had her loyal pet dog by her side, which later played a vital role in her survival. The dog provided warmth and companionship and helped Karina walk the harsh wilderness. It also assisted her in searching for white berries and finding clean river water. After enduring nearly 2 weeks alone in the freezing conditions, the dog made its way back home, seeking help. This courageous journey was crucial, as it led rescuers to Karina's location. When authorities found her, she weighed less than 10 kilograms, but was remarkably alert and responsive. The entire rescue operation was captured on camera, showcasing the bond between Karina and her miraculous dog, who saved her when least expected. Moving on, let's talk about another toddler who miraculously survived a fall from 30 feet. Number 11. A toddler who survived a 30-foot fall. In a remarkable incident captured on CCTV, a 4-year-old girl from Washim district, Maharashtra, survived a fall from a height of approximately 30 feet. The event took place in May 2023, when the toddler accidentally fell from a balcony of her home. The video shows the girl falling down, but fortunately, she landed on a parked motorcycle, which protected her before she hit the ground. The motorcycle's seat absorbed much of the impact, allowing the girl to stand up shortly after the fall. Witnesses and online viewers expressed their amazement at her miraculous escape. While the exact extent of her injuries was not publicly disclosed, the fact that she was able to stand after the incident led many to regard it as a miracle. The incident quickly went viral on social media, with many praising her guardian's quick thinking in having the motorcycle parked below, which ultimately contributed to saving her life. Let's move to the next story, where a sacred ground miraculously survived a devastating natural disaster. Number 10. The mosque that survived tsunami. In December 2004, the Indian Ocean tsunami struck with devastating force, severely affecting coastal areas across Southeast Asia, including Indonesia. In Banda Aceh, one notable incident involved the Baitur Rahman Grand Mosque, which withstood the tsunami's impact. As massive waves surged toward the city, the mosque, located centrally, was initially engulfed by the floodwaters. Remarkably, it remained structurally intact, despite the destruction of nearby buildings and homes. While many structures were flattened, the mosque's solid construction allowed it to endure the onslaught, with its minarets still visible above the water. Many survivors took refuge inside the mosque following the disaster, utilizing it as a shelter amidst the chaos. The preservation of the Baitur Rahman Grand Mosque was widely reported, and it became a focal point for the community during the recovery process. After the tsunami, people sought comfort within its walls, and it served as a gathering place for those affected by the disaster. The mosque's survival was viewed by many as a remarkable occurrence, contributing to discussions about the tsunami and the recovery efforts in Banda Aceh. Moving on from miraculous events that take place in churches and mosques, we turn our attention to a remarkable story of survival that unfolded outside, along the banks of the Kallida River in India. Number 9. Surviving the floodwaters. In an incredible incident, a 64-year-old woman named Shamalayama from Kollam experienced a miraculous escape after being swept away by the swollen Kallida River. This river had surged dramatically due to heavy rains, carrying her nearly 10 kilometers downstream. The ordeal began while Shamalayama was washing clothes near her home and accidentally slipped into the turbulent waters. With her inability to swim and the river's strong current, she found herself in a life-threatening situation. In a desperate attempt to stay afloat, she clung to riverbank creepers while drifting downstream. As she floated on her back, she passed by various landmarks, including Chetiarajikath, Njankadavu, and Kunathur bridges. Local residents heard her cries for help and rushed to assist her, even as some onlookers recorded the dramatic rescue. Initially fearing for her safety, they witnessed her struggle against the powerful current. In an extraordinary turn of events, Shamalayama's desperate calls caught the attention of rescuers who ultimately pulled her from the river. Her survival has since been regarded as a miracle among many other miraculous survival stories in floodwaters. Now let's turn to the extraordinary tale of a man who astonishingly survived being struck by lightning 7 times in his life. Number 8. Surviving the lightning. Surviving a lightning strike is rare due to the immense electrical energy involved, which can cause severe burns, cardiac arrest, and neurological damage. Lightning carries around 30,000 amperes of current, leading to devastating effects on the body. Most victims experience immediate incapacitation, making survival highly unlikely without prompt medical intervention. But miraculously, Roy Sullivan, a former U.S. park ranger, survived 7 lightning strikes during his lifetime, a remarkable record that has fascinated people around the globe. Born in 1912 in Greene County, Virginia, his first lightning strike occurred in 1942 while working as a fire lookout. Lightning struck his tower, leaving him with severe burns and injuries. Undeterred, Sullivan continued his work, only to be struck again in 1969 while driving his truck, resulting in even more serious injuries, including burns to his face and chest. The pattern persisted, with subsequent strikes occurring in 1970 while in his truck, 1972 while working in a field, 1973 in a warehouse, and 1976 during a storm while driving. Each encounter caused various injuries, yet he miraculously survived them all. His final strike came in 1977, leaving him with burns on his legs and torso. Sullivan's incredible survival through such repeated and extreme events earned him the nickname the Human Lightning Rod. Sadly, he passed away in 1983 from a self-inflicted gunshot wound, reportedly due to depression. Now let's delve into an intriguing story from Florida, where many believe a celestial sign graced the skies on a momentous day. Number 7. Angel in the Clouds. On March 14, 2013, the skies over Florida presented what many perceived as a divine sign. Deborah Tadema, a resident of Seminole, was enjoying a sunny day when she looked up to witness an extraordinary sight. A cloud formation appeared to take the shape of an angel, complete with outstretched wings and a radiant aura. Captivated by the view, Deborah quickly snapped a photograph of the celestial figure and shared it with friends and family, who were equally astonished. The timing of this event added to its intrigue. On the same day, Pope Francis was anointed as the 266th Pope of the Catholic Church in Vatican City. This coincidence led many to interpret the angelic cloud as a heavenly sign heralding the start of Pope Francis's papacy, symbolizing divine blessing and approval. The photograph soon went viral, sparking widespread discussion across social media and news outlets about its significance. While skeptics dismissed the cloud as merely a whimsical shape created by the wind, many viewed it as a sign of a higher power at work. Continuing our exploration of the wonders associated with clouds, we turn to a breathtaking event captured in rural South America, where another mysterious figure descending from the clouds sparked speculation. Number 6. Descending from the clouds. In 2015, a video surfaced that appeared to show a figure descending from the clouds, creating an air of intrigue and amazement. Filmed by a local resident in a rural area of South America, the footage reveals a silhouette emerging from dense cloud cover and slowly drifting towards the ground. As the video gained traction online, viewers were captivated by its quality. The resident, armed with a smartphone, began recording after noticing unusual cloud formations, and as the video progresses, a shadowy, indistinct figure becomes visible. It floats gently before ultimately vanishing into the surrounding landscape. The lack of clarity regarding the figure's identity, combined with the absence of any visible support structures or aircraft, has led to intense speculation about its origin. Experts and skeptics have weighed in, with some suggesting it could be a rare meteorological phenomenon or an optical illusion created by the interplay of light and clouds. However, many believe the incident as miraculous, as the sight of a seemingly flying human challenges our understanding of reality and inspires wonder in those who witness it. Moving on from this, let's talk about an old man who miraculously survived a tornado. Before we move on, it's time for our subscriber pick of the day. The image circulating online features a man whose arms appear to have transformed into giant chicken wings while he lies on the ground. This bizarre sight has generated a wide range of reactions, with some speculating that it could be an angel, while others think it might be a movie set, a wax figure, or even a cleverly edited image. We might doubt this isn't a miracle, but what if it actually is? Just like the other miracles mentioned in this video, we would have also had doubts. After all, if these miracles were not filmed, no one would believe it. What do you think? Share your thoughts in the comments section. Number 5. Surviving the tornado. In 2022, a 70-year-old man in Kingsbury, Texas, miraculously survived a devastating tornado that destroyed his home. The man's son, Clint Murphy, believes his father's strong faith helped him endure the terrifying incident. The tornado tore through the house, ripping off the walls and collapsing the roof. Yet the elderly man, who was immobile and couldn't move or run, somehow escaped unscathed. Murphy was away when the tornado struck, but when rescuers arrived, they found his father calmly sitting on the edge of his bed, casually smoking, as if nothing had happened. The chaos around him told a different story. The tornado had tossed Murphy's RV 15 yards across the property, smashing it against a tree, and even a shed had been blown onto the house and then into a nearby tree. Despite the overwhelming destruction, his father wasn't hurt. He made light of the situation when help finally arrived, making witty comments about the timing of their rescue. Murphy later shared photos of the wreckage on social media, still in disbelief that his father had survived without a scratch. Even more baffling, his father explained that at one point the roof had fallen on him, only to be lifted off moments later. Now let's shift from the miraculous tornado survival to another incredible escape. This time, it's about a woman who narrowly avoided being crushed by a falling tree during a storm. Number 4. The narrow escape. In an incredible story of luck, a woman in southern China narrowly escaped serious injury after a tree collapsed on her during a storm. The incident, which occurred in Shenzhen City, Guangdong Province, was captured on CCTV footage. The video shows the woman walking down the street with an umbrella when strong winds uprooted a roadside tree, causing it to topple directly onto her. Amazingly, the woman avoided the full impact of the trunk and, instead, slipped through the gaps in the branches, leaving her unharmed. She quickly got back on her feet and walked away from the scene as if nothing had happened, stunned, but unscathed. Local authorities later confirmed that the sudden fall of the tree was caused by the stormy weather that day. Maintenance workers arrived shortly after to clear the debris, but by then, the woman had already left, as she was not injured. The footage of this near miss went viral, with many calling it a miraculous escape. The woman's calm reaction and survival in such a close, dangerous situation amazed viewers, adding yet another story of everyday miracles caught on camera. And speaking of close calls, let's shift our focus from the falling tree to a near-fatal collision that happened on the streets of Moscow. Number 3. The Moscow collision. In Moscow, a near-fatal collision involving a cyclist, a car, and a truck shocked both onlookers and emergency responders. The accident, captured on surveillance footage, occurred when a car unexpectedly swerved into the path of a cyclist named Igor Petrov. Caught off guard, Igor lost control and was thrown directly into the path of an oncoming truck. As the truck sped toward him, it struck Igor with full force, launching him into the air. The chaotic scene was filled with screeching tires and shattered glass, leaving bystanders fearing the worst. Miraculously, when emergency responders arrived, they found Igor alive and conscious, having sustained only minor injuries. His protective gear and a stroke of luck were credited with his survival in what could have been a fatal crash. The drivers of both the car and truck, though shaken, were in compliance with traffic laws, and the accident was deemed a tragic sequence of split-second events. The footage quickly went viral, drawing attention to the cyclist's miraculous escape from death. And still on miracles, let's head back to church as we dive into some miraculous events that left an entire congregation in awe. Number 2. The Weeping Statue. In 2017, the small town of San Nicolas, Argentina, became the center of a religious phenomenon that captivated believers and skeptics. A statue of the Virgin Mary, located in a local church, was reported to be weeping what appeared to be blood. The event was first captured on a cell phone by a local resident, and the footage quickly went viral, sparking widespread intrigue and debate. The statue had long been a revered symbol in the community, but its unexpected display of red liquid streaming from its eyes turned the ordinary into the extraordinary. For many, this unsettling sight was interpreted as a miraculous sign, drawing many faithful followers to the church to witness the phenomenon firsthand and offer prayers. Some saw it as a divine message or a call to reflection, local authorities and church officials responded cautiously, calling for a thorough investigation to determine the nature of the liquid. While some religious leaders embraced the event as a proof of faith, others insisted on scientific scrutiny to rule out any natural or mechanical explanations. Finally, as we conclude our exploration of miraculous stories, this footage you're about to see features what appears to be a striking image resembling a painting of Virgin Mary on a wall. Number 1. The Stained Glass Miracle. In an intriguing incident from 2010, a stained glass window of the Virgin Mary at St. Thomas Aquinas Church in Clearwater, Florida, became the focus of attention. A curious stain began to form on the window, resembling the Virgin Mary's image. Initially dismissed as a simple smear, the stain became more defined over time. As word spread about the miraculous window, it attracted numerous visitors who sought to witness the phenomenon firsthand. Photographs and videos of the stained glass image circulated rapidly, increasing public interest. Many churchgoers viewed the image as a divine sign and brought flowers, candles, and messages of devotion to the site. The church organized special prayer services and vigils to honor the event. Media coverage of the story heightened its visibility, prompting discussions about its significance in both religious and secular circles. While some skeptics suggested that the stain was simply a result of environmental factors or the natural degradation of the glass, the incident left a lasting impression on the local community. And that's all for today. Thanks for watching.